In this video, I'm going to tell you about AIDA. What is AIDA? AIDA to me is one of the most powerful marketing frameworks I've ever come across. I didn't start my career in marketing. I actually started my career in accounting. And let me tell you, I had no idea how to write ad copy. But everything changed when I started learning about these frameworks. And AIDA to me was probably the most powerful one I came across and really changed the way I think about writing copy. And I'm still today not the best copywriter. There's many great copywriters out there, but having something like AIDA really gave me this structure to write anything from landing pages to Facebook ad copy to email marketing, you name it. The principles are all the same at the bottom, and it's using something like AIDA to structure your articulation to the customer, right? And I see this problem over and over again with clients I work with who don't have, I guess, a marketing background or who haven't spent the time learning frameworks like AIDA. There's no, it's not clear to the readers or the customers who are coming to their website what the product solves for the customer, right? And by using this framework, you can actually fit this in. And in this video, I'm going to show you, and it's hopefully going to be clear by the end of the video, how this framework works and actually articulates to the customer clearly what the problem is, identifies it for them, tells them how their product, meets and solves that problem, uh, and then it paints a picture of the future state of you using this product, and then tells you how to get this solution today, right? And this is what AIDA really is, and you'll have a better understanding once we run through this in more detail. But just before we start that, I thought something really interesting that I wanted to share is this framework was actually founded in 1895 by this guy called Elias St. Elmo Lewis. And it just shows you that some of these frameworks, which have been around, for maybe nearly 100 years now, is still, very valid in today's world, even with social media. These underlying principles don't change. And this is why I think it's one of the most powerful things to learn if you're getting into marketing, if you're running a business or you're thinking about running a business. I think it's invaluable. So on that note, I think I'll run you through now the different steps in AIDA. And again, use AIDA before you start any project, or if you're about to write landing page or maybe Facebook ad copy. I think this is a good exercise to do before you jump in and you look at design and getting creatives and all this. I think the copy is where you start. So to give you a good example, we're going to be using a new language app. So think about something like Duolingo, could be a good example, and we're going to use that to run through and give you an example as we go through the principles. So the first part of the framework is the A, which stands for attention, right? And grabbing attention in marketing is everything, especially today with all the social media, and different platforms available. People's attentions are shorter than ever. And you really only have a couple seconds at the beginning to really grab their attention and keep that interest, that energy throughout the rest of your explanation or your sales funnel, right? And so grabbing attention is all about identifying a problem that your specific customer base has. And being specific about who that customer is really important. The nicher it is, the clearer that connection between the problem and that customer base is, right? So in this example, a clear problem to point out is the struggle of learning a new language. Whether it takes too much time, it's too complicated, it's hard to find the right teacher, maybe they're too expensive. You can play at these elements, right? Then these problems. And so in our one, we're talking about this app, this technology makes it effortless, right, to learn this language. So people who are struggling are going to turn and be like, oh, that's interesting. Tell me more, right? You want that tell me more to push them over to the next letter, which is I, which is the interest part. And interest is all about going a bit further now and explaining the features and the benefits of your particular solution, right? So in this one, for the language app, we're talking about how it's interactive, how it's personalized. So it's not just a generic, app to learn, Mandarin or Italian or Spanish. No, it's really customized and personalized to you, right? And not only that, it's actually used by millions of people. So this social proof is so paramount. It's really important to create credibility with this new audience because they don't know who you are. They don't know what your brand does. This is the first time they're interacting, right? And so, talking about the features and how many other people, the social element, how many other people are using it is really, really important for customers and obviously creates that interest in them. So, there's, that feeling of, oh, okay, you're ticking the boxes for me. Other people are using it. Tell me more. And so, we move on to the D, which stands for desire, right? And this part is all about painting the picture of the future state, right? So, when the customer is using the product, you create that imagination in their mind of how their life's going to change by using your app, right? So you're going to paint a picture, for example, with this language app that, within a few months you'll be able to go on your holiday to Europe, and maybe you're going to be in a nice Italian restaurant, and you're going to be able to, speak with the waiter and have a conversation, right? Which you never had the ability to do before, but just by practicing a few days, a few minutes a day, you're going to be able to do this in the future, right? So you're creating that desire in the buyer, and they're going to be more willing now to consider your app. And then the final stage is the A, which stands for action, right? So you've created this desire for the customer. Now they're going to be like, how do I take action? Where do I go, right? And so you're going to clearly articulate to them that they can start the journey today by downloading and installing the app. And you know what? For coming in today, and maybe it's Christmas time, maybe it's Black Friday, you're going to give them a special offer, to further incentivize them to take action today, right? And so you can see by taking these 4 steps that we've clearly put put the person or the visitor through each of the stages in their mind for them to make a decision. You've handled any objections, you've clearly articulated the benefits, and now you've told them an easy way for them to join the millions of other people, right? So you can see how clearly we've articulated to the customer. We haven't left anything on the table. We've put everything there. And this is where a lot of businesses fail. They don't understand how to articulate this very clearly, right? And by using structure, something like AIDA, you can clearly put this on a piece of paper. And this is something I recommend to do is before you start even a new business or before you start a new marketing campaign or start advertising, I would start with an empty piece of paper and something like AIDA to put everything down and have it on a piece of paper. And you can clearly see that, firstly, does my product grab attention? Is there interesting features that solve problems for the customer base? Can I create a future state, a desire for them to use my product? And then lastly, can they take action easily? Do I have a website set up? Can they install the app? Can I offer them an incentive, a discount, right? You can see how this is a nice package. It clearly puts everything together for you. So I hope this was really helpful. And if you're interested, please subscribe to my channel, Digital Marty, and I'll be posting more, marketing tips and things that I've learned along the way in my journey. And please give this video a thumbs up if it's something that you found helpful, and leave any comments or questions below, and I'll try to answer as many as I can.